Hello everyone, welcome to chapter number 4 of science, which is carbon and its compounds. So this is one of my favorite chapter and there is lot of new things which you are going to study in this chapter. So let's start with this chapter. So first of all, a brief introduction about what is carbon. So a carbon is an element having the atomic number of 6. It means if I talk about the electronic configuration of carbon, it would be 2, 4. That is, carbon has 4 electrons in the outermost shell. Next, it is a non-metal. Although all the living things, including plants, animals and even we, are made up of carbon-based compounds, still the amount of carbon in atmosphere is very less. It is around 0.03%, whereas in earth crust it is around 0.02%. Now, the best friend of carbon is hydrogen. So maximum time you will find that carbon is bonding with hydrogen, and therefore those compounds that have hydrogen and carbons are called hydrocarbons. And the branch of chemistry in which we study about hydrocarbons and their derivatives is called organic chemistry. The last point, carbon compounds are exceptionally stable. And this is because of the presence of strong bonds between carbon atoms. So carbon and carbon, they are joined together with a very strong bond, and that is the reason that they are exceptionally stable. Now let us start with the properties of carbon. So this is one of the most important topic of this chapter. So carbon has 5 important properties. The first property, carbon is tetravalent. Second property, carbon forms covalent bond, and that is why carbon compounds are covalent compounds. Next, carbon form multiple bonds. It can form single bond, double bond or triple bond. Next, carbon has the property of self-combination or catenation. So carbon has the property to combine in order to form long chains. Next, it shows isomerism. So these are the 5 most important carbon properties, which is very important from board perspective also. So let's study each property one by one. The very first property is carbon shows tetravalency. So what do we mean by that? So tetravalent. Tetra stands for 4 and valent stands for valency. So what is valency? Valency is a number of electrons which you want to gain or lose in order to become stable. Carbon has a valency of 4, that is why carbon is tetravalent. Now, since one carbon atom requires 4 electrons in order to achieve 8 electron inert gas structure, therefore the valency of carbon is 4. Now the 4 valencies of carbon is usually represented by putting 4 short lines on the symbol of carbon. So you will always write carbon like this. See here, and then you have to put 4 short lines. This shows that carbon needs 4 electrons in order to become stable. Now the next property is carbon forms covalent bond. This is one of the most important property of carbon. Now the question arises, what kind of bond exists between carbon compounds? So we have studied that carbon have 4 electrons in the outermost shell. So it has 2 options. Either it can lose 4 electrons in order to become stable. In that way, it will have 2 electrons in the outermost shell. But is that possible? No. Carbon has a very small size, because of which the outermost electrons are held very strongly with the nucleus. So if I talk about the structure of carbon, it has K shell having 2 electrons and L shell having 4 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4. So because of its small size, these 4 electrons are bonded together with nucleus very strongly, and it requires large amount of energy in order to remove these 4 valence electrons, and which is not possible. That is why carbon cannot lose 4 electrons in order to become stable. So the next option for carbon is to gain 4 electrons in order to become stable. In that way, the carbon will be taking 4 electrons, and thus the nucleus will be having 6 protons, and this nucleus will be surrounded by 10 electrons. So it is practically not possible for 6 protons to hold 10 electrons. That is why gaining 4 electrons in order to become stable is also not an option. So these two options get cancelled out. Now the last option for carbon is to share 4 electrons. So carbon does the same. So carbon solves the problem by sharing its valence electrons with other atoms of carbon, hydrogen, phosphorus, sulfur or nitrogen in order to form covalent bonds. That is why carbon will always form covalent bond. The next property is that carbon forms multiple bonds. So carbon has the property of multiple bond formation. So carbon can combine with the carbon having a single bond. Carbon can combine with another carbon with double bond, or it can combine with another carbon having triple bond. So single, double and triple bonding, this is very much possible with carbon. Now let us talk about the fourth property of carbon. So the fourth property says that the carbon has the property of self-combination, and it is also known as catenation. So what is catenation? Catenation means to link together. Actually, catenation is a property of carbon in which it combines with itself atom to atom in order to form long chain. So here carbon atoms will be linked together in order to form long chain. So in catenation you need to have same type of atoms. So these carbon atoms are linked together in order to form long chains. Now this catenation property is the most outstanding property of carbon, and this is because when these carbon atoms are linked together, it forms a backbone for other atoms also to join together. In this way, you will find various amount of carbon compounds. So let us see the definition of catenation. So in chemistry, catenation is the bonding of atoms of same element into a series called a chain. So catenation occurs most readily in carbon, although we also have silicon which shows the property of catenation. However, the bonds between silicon is weak, and that is why the silicon compounds are unstable. However, the covalent bonds with the carbon atoms are very strong, and that is why the carbon compounds are highly stable. Now here is a question for you. What is the reason for the presence of vast number of organic compounds in nature? Do think about it and write your answers in the comment section. Now the last important property is that carbon shows isomerism. So what do we mean by isomerism? So in organic chemistry, a given molecular formula will represent only one compound. So what do we mean by this? For example, we have a compound H2SO4. Okay, so this compound will have a unique structure. Whereas if we talk about compounds in organic chemistry, so in organic chemistry, a given molecular formula can represent two or more different compounds based on how you are arranging the atoms. So you can arrange the same number of atoms different ways in order to get different structure and in order to get all together different compounds. So the organic compounds having the same molecular formula but different structures are called isomers, and the existence of two or more compounds having same molecular formula but different structures is called isomerism. For example is N-butane, which is normal butane, and isobutane. Although I will be taking this concept all together in a different session, but for now let me explain you a brief about it with the help of an example. So let us consider the structure of butane. So initially we are going to arrange the carbon atoms in the form of straight chain. So this butane is having 4 carbon atoms. So I am placing these carbon atoms in a single chain like this. So C, 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 C. Okay, in order to make every carbon stable, I need to put hydrogen. So for every carbon you need to have 4 short lines. So one is here, so 1, 2, 3, and then here again 1, 2, 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 3. So every carbon atom is now having 4 short lines, and these short lines actually denotes bonds. So I need to put hydrogen here because carbon will be sharing its electron with the hydrogen, and hydrogen will also be sharing its electron with the carbon. So here I am having 10 hydrogens. So I can write it like this also: CH3, CH2, CH2 and CH3. So this is one of the structure of butane, which I can also write as N-butane. Now I am going to change the structure for this butane by making branches. Now what I am going to do is, I'll put 3 carbons in this way and 1 carbon as a branch. In this way, if I have to make every carbon stable, I will put 3 hydrogen here, 1 single hydrogen here, 3 hydrogen here and 3 hydrogen here. In that way it will be 3 and 3 6 and 3 6 9 and 1 hydrogen 10. So the molecular formula is again C4H10. However, the structure has changed, and that is why its name is isobutane. So you can see that we have 2 different compounds, however their molecular formula is C4H10. Thus they are called isomers. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Now I am going to meet in the next session, in which we are going to talk about allotropes of carbon. If you are new to our channel, then don't forget to follow our Facebook page, to follow Instagram, to follow Blogspot, and also to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Till then, bye bye and take care of yourself.